Wow, we're winning with Jimmy in studio, but there's a lot of stuff that you can win with because we are giving away a lavender, or you could stand a chance of winning a lavender garden makeover with 100,000 Rand with the compliments of Comfort Lavender Bloom, the product of the year 2014. Now, all you have to do to stand a chance to win this is SMS lavender, your name and city, the last 4 digits of any barcode of Comfort, and then, of course, you could be walking away with that fantastic prize.
And smelling fresh all week.
Lavender fresh.
Now, if you want to get a little taste of how beautiful a garden inspired by lavender can be, we get a little bit more on this aromatic herb as Ewan goes to the Cape Garden Centre to get a really in-depth feel for this beautiful fragrance.
Comfort Concentrated Fabric Conditioner in Lavender Bloom won Product of the Year. To celebrate, Comfort offers you the chance to win a lavender garden makeover.
You want your garden to be more than just pretty. You want it to be unforgettable. An easy and affordable way to achieve this is with fragrant plants like lavender. That's why Ewan is at the Cape Garden Centre for more insight into this aromatic herb.
The truth is, at some stage, we are all going to be hooked on lavender, the scent of lavender. And there's nothing better than carrying that scent with you throughout the day, especially during the hot South African summer months. And that is what you can expect from Comfort Lavender Bloom. But in addition to smelling fresh all day long, they are also running a magnificent competition where you can win up to 100,000 Rand in a lavender garden makeover, completely transforming that outside space at home.
As a herb native to Northern Africa and the mountainous regions of the Mediterranean, the scent of lavender is thought to calm the nerves, help relieve headaches, and even ease sleeplessness. One lavender fan is horticulturist Leigh-anne, who says the plant is easy to grow at home. The first step is to pick the right variety for your garden.
Helia, look at all this lavender. It is absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to learn everything there is to know. But I don't know about you, but I think it's a must-have for every single garden.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And especially this time of the year, you can see the lavenders are in flower, and there's so many different types to choose from. There's more than 32 different species of lavender. There was a lot of confusion over the past years with the naming and the classification of the lavenders. So by asking for Lavandula angustifolia, you know you're getting the right one.
That's a really big word.
Yes.
And with so many different types out there, what do you find is the most common one that people add to the garden?
Well, I would say the most common and popular is probably the English lavender. It's very well known. It gets about 1 meter tall, meter wide, so it does get quite big. You need to have a nice space for it to grow. And then there's other types as well, like the Lavandula dentata, which is known as the French lavender.
Okay.
Which is basically this one. You can see it differs from the English lavender. It's got toothed edges. You can see that the flower is also more compact, it's more dense, where the English lavender is more slender, it's smaller, it's more dainty. This one also doesn't get as big as the English. It gets about 80, 90 centimeters, and also tends to be a bit more compact and more bushy than the lavender.
Lavender plants will tolerate various growing conditions, but it thrives in warm, well-drained soil and full sun. Ask the staff at your nearest nursery for advice on the species that will suit you best. Then also buy some bone meal as well as a bag or 2 of compost. Be sure to plant the lavender in well-drained soil in a sunny spot where the roots will seek moisture deep in the soil.
Here we're about to get planting, and we're going to be focusing on planting it in the garden, but can you plant it in a pot if you would like to, and maybe keep it indoors?
In a pot, definitely, as long as there's good drainage holes and you use a medium that is well drained. Indoors, not really. I won't suggest that. You know, lavenders are Mediterranean, so they like full sun, dry conditions. So not ideal for indoors, unfortunately.
Be sure to prepare the spot you've picked by working compost into the soil.
This spot specifically will get afternoon sun, a bit of morning shade, but still enough sun. The soil is very fine, it will let good drainage through, which is also ideal for the lavenders, so a very ideal position.
What exactly does the bone meal do?
The bone meal basically will encourage root development, so very important, it's organic, very important for young plants when you want to let them start off.
Do remember to leave some space for the plants to grow. Don't space them too close together.
And that should do it. Helia, is that hole big enough?
Yes, I definitely think so. You know, normally we'll go double the height of the pot or the bag in which the lavender is planted.
Great. Okay, before we plant, do we need to do anything else?
We're going to put in a bit of bone meal, a bit of compost again, and then we're going to plant the lavender.
Great. And I also love the way that you laid it out before we started digging the hole so you can actually see the setup.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You know, you want to position the plants in the correct area where they're going to be planted. So do a bit of planning beforehand.
Gently cover the roots with soil and add another sprinkle of bone meal, then water it.
Watering at this stage quite important. You know, as I've mentioned, they are Mediterranean, so they're used to dry conditions once established. But for now, you want to look after them, give them a bit of, you know, more regular watering.
Lavender doesn't need a lot of fussy care. It's also a great companion plant that will help deter insects like white flies and codling moths from your vegetable and herb garden.
Edie, I think we did a pretty good job. What do you say?
Excellent.
And I can already smell that lavender scent. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, definitely. And you'll see as the plant grows bigger, you'll even get a stronger scent.
How do you go about ensuring that it grows nicely, that you form a nice lavender bush?
Well, the pruning is very important. You know, the bigger plants tend to get very leggy and straggly, so you want to cut it back every once in a while. These plants are quite young still, so you are just going to cut back the dead flower stems, and then maybe just by the end of the summer, just cut it back and trim it back a bit. But the older plants that get very straggly, you can cut back to at least 1/3 of the plant. So cut it back nice and hard. Just be careful not to cut too much into that old wood. The plant might not shoot out again, but otherwise, you know, it will form nice new shoots again, and that will make the plant more compact and bushy.
English lavender varieties can also be used to make your own essential oil. It will attract butterflies to your garden and bring you a lot of joy. Remember, you stand a chance of winning a lavender garden makeover worth up to 100,000 Rand with the compliments of Comfort Lavender Bloom, the product of the year 2014. Visit Expresso's website for all the details.
Experience true freshness that lasts and lasts with Comfort Concentrated Fabric Conditioner in Lavender Bloom.
Baie dankie, Papa Ewan. A beautiful garden there if you'd like to emulate that and then take it to a whole nother level. Courtesy of Comfort Lavender, we are giving you the chance to win a garden makeover valued at 100,000 Rand. It's actually a little bit mind-blowing. All you have to do is SMS the keyword lavender, your name, your city, along with the last 4 digits on your barcode on the back of your pack there. And we could be, you know, transforming your garden on a whole different level.
There's
Awesome.
nothing like a transformed garden, hey? One day when you have one, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.